All right, welcome to another Thursday morning and yet another episode of Seeds of Music. We're switching up again, doing another mini lesson. Before I start with that mini lesson, however, please do me a quick favor. And if you have a problem, okay, or a question about something, something that keeps you up at night, a problem with building a fan base, or a problem with selling your music or getting people out to shows, it could be anything under the sun when it comes to your music career, let me know. Leave a comment in the comment box or send me an email to kyle.seedsofmusic@gmail.com and let me know what that topic is that you want me to cover, what that problem you want me to tackle, and I'll put it in the next mini lesson. So on to today's mini lesson. It's going to be super short. The 3 essential non-music skills for the independent artist. All right, let's jump right in. So the first essential skill here is going to be writing, all right? Because everything about building a fan base is about communication. And if you're building a fan base online, then you're communicating online. And how do we communicate online? With words. It doesn't matter if it's Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram, or if you're blogging. You're going to be putting words to a paper, in this case, a screen. People are going to be reading it, and they're going to be absorbing that and making decisions based off of what they read. Now, also don't forget your email list, because in your email list, it's like writing letters. And so if you're writing an email list because you're trying to connect further with a fan, or you want to let them know about a show or let them know about something that you're doing, if your writing skills aren't up to par, it's going to be really hard for you to communicate what you want and get them to take the action that you want them to take. Now, success, is a journey of winning people over. In your case, it's winning people over to fans, where they follow you, they share what you put out, and they buy from you to support you. And the reason that they do any of those 3 things is because of storytelling, because storytelling is how you convert fans. Storytelling is how you win people over. Storytelling is how you win hearts. It's not just with your music. Music is extremely powerful for doing that. Whether or not you're storytelling literally in your lyrics, or it's just the musical phrases like tell this kind of story that make people that change their emotions and affect them. So I'm not going to get too frou-frou into music right here, because I could go on forever about that. But how does storytelling work? Well, it works because narratives have been with us the entire time of our human existence. It's how we really truly communicate effective ideas. We never made PowerPoints and made boring pre-written speeches. We told like engaging stories. It's how we build these deep connections, whether it's books, film, or we recite them orally, which is how we did before we invented written language. So essentially, if you're able to tell your story to your fans, they'll connect further with you, and they'll want to support you beyond just sharing stuff on Facebook. They'll actually want to join your email list, connect with you on a consistent basis, and purchase your music. Now, when it comes to, you might be thinking, well, am I writing like articles telling about what happened to me today, or about important things in my life and things? Like as much as you're comfortable to share, but you need to share something about yourself so that the fan has something to relate to, okay? Because they can't relate to the fact that you create music unless they create music too. They relate to the normal everyday like human being stuff that everybody has, no matter if they're a musician or a painter. That's what they want to. That's what's really going to connect them to you. And so you have to really get into telling the story of your life to your fans. And when you're just creating, short Twitter tweets, doing, putting out tweets or putting posts on Facebook, you might not be. I'm not saying like put in a story to every tweet or Facebook post that you put out, but you just have to be aware that how you write and communicate to people is extremely important, and you want to communicate in a very human way that takes into consideration that they're a human being too, and use a lot of common sense in that process. So to improve your writing, great way to do that is to read. There you go, read great literature. You can I have a buddy of mine who reads scripts. He likes to read a lot of scripts because that really he does a lot of writing as well, and that really helps him out. But what's really important is to start the habit of writing. Write every day. Write first thing in the morning. Keep a journal. Write on a chalkboard or whiteboard. Write on scraps of paper. You want to daily do something to kind of improve your ability to communicate in written form, because that's going to be very important when you're doing anything online to build your fan base. Okay, the second essential skill here is oral communication. This just all goes back to communication, except the first was written, now it's oral, okay? Because yeah, at your live shows, you want to be talking to people. You don't want to be that recluse who's too afraid to speak with people. And I know for some of you, you might be a little gun shy, but once you put yourself out there for the first time, the second time becomes easier, and then the third time becomes easier, and then you find that you enjoy communicating with these people who are generally interested in your art, but you have to reach out to them in the first place to experience that. So whether you're talking to fans at the merch table, or talking to people out in the crowd after you're done playing, or maybe talking over the mic, oral communication is important there. And it doesn't mean that you have to be a Martin Luther King. It doesn't mean you have to speak intensely like that. It just means that you need to be able to communicate what you're saying effectively so that people understand what you're saying. It's also going to go into play when you're making phone calls to booking agents or whoever that you're networking with, negotiating with venues. That's where it's going to be. Doing any kind of negotiating is where oral communication is going to come in a huge play. This is going to protect you. It's going to protect your interests. It's going to protect the fact that you want to get paid for playing a gig. So you need to be able to effectively talk with someone when you're negotiating. So that's really important. To improve your speech, one thing I like to do is I like to listen to great TED Talks on YouTube, or just listen to great speeches. I mean, a lot of stuff sounds obvious, but is this something that you're doing? Ask yourself that question. Obviously, there's all the great orators. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Orators. Like Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy. But let's not go too intense with that. Just go watch an episode of Vsauce. That guy's got great oral communication, and he's entertaining at the same time. So being able to, improve your speech skills doesn't mean that you're going to become, like super intense, like civil rights activists. It just means that you're able to, you can speak and people pay attention and they understand. The third here is interpersonal. The thing here, this basically could be called networking, but let's try to stay away from that word. This is basically just your interpersonal skills, your ability to understand how social situations work. It's important to follow up on everything. You got to have some hustle. If you don't have some hustle with your music career, you're not gonna build enough momentum to really move anywhere. I mean, you really need to get all the help you can get, because a label isn't helping you. You don't have a bunch of agents around you doing stuff for you. You are having to do things yourself. It doesn't mean you have to do everything yourself. You can still find someone. You can build these interpersonal relationships, so you can find someone who's willing to help you out on doing the things that you would rather someone else do. But you're not going to be able to find those people unless you have the interpersonal skills and the networking skills to find them, and then communicate with them in order to bring them into the fold and bring them onto your team so they can help. Okay. One thing I wanted to mention here, is I've actually been running this problem myself, so I just felt compelled to put it here. Guys, answer your email. Seriously, don't assume that no one's ever going to email you because no one cares, or you're only going to get spam emails. It's just a really negative, lazy attitude, and you're going to miss opportunities in that sense. So just always be checking if you got your email out there, just put it out there. Don't be afraid. Like, don't be half-ass about it. Check your email. If someone contacts you, follow up on it. It doesn't mean if someone who's obviously it's a fraud email from Nigeria, obviously you're not going to answer that, but you want to at least check into anything that comes your way to see if it's an opportunity that's going to help you grow your music career. So without getting sucked into the email time hole, just set a set time to check email. Okay, what I do is I just check email. I try to check email twice a day. Okay, unless I'm specifically waiting for someone to get back to me. I bulk check email at 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. respectively. If you have a different kind of time schedule and you're up later, then just set 2 times throughout the day that you check email, and that's it. That's all you do, and you don't mess with email after that. That's something, that's something that I've been continually running into that you could easily fix. So that's all I have to say on that. That's the end of this week's episode of Seeds of Music, this mini lesson on 3 essential non-music skills for the independent artist. Just make sure to leave a comment and let me know what you would like to hear in the next mini lesson. Is there something bugging you? Is a problem you're running into when it comes to growing your music career, or a topic you want covered? Just leave a comment in the box, let me know, or send an email to kyle.seedsmusic@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, and until then, guys, remember, we are the future of music.